Good morning. Welcome to another morning ministry I get to introduce you to. Man, we have so much going on here at LifeSource. This is one of my favorite ministries. It's very near and dear to my
I
heart.
thought you were going to say I was one of your favorite people.
Well, you are.
Oh,
You
great.
are, but your
That's
ministry
awesome.
is more important. Don't take this the wrong way. Your ministry is more important than you.
Oh,
I
well, I
mean,
believe that should be true.
yeah.
Yes.
So, if you're not aware, worship is something that we have a very passion for, a big passion for here in our church. And I want to introduce you today to our worship director. This is Matt Dotson,
Hello.
and he is the director over what's happening in our worship. First off, Matt, why don't you share a little bit about what you see as the vision of LifeSource worship?
Well, first of all, I think you have to start with what is worship and why do we care about worship? And it's because God created you and He created me to be worshipers. We all are designed to worship something, and we all, a lot of times, get it wrong and worship the wrong things. But we want at LifeSource to point you towards the King of Kings, the one who made you, with that hole in your heart to want to worship Him and fill that hole in your heart with Him. So that's the biggest desire. There's something in our vision statement for our team. I'm just going to read this to you. Our ultimate desire is that the name of Jesus would be honored above all else, and that His heart would be blessed by the gathering of His people. So when we come together in the sanctuary, or whether we get into greenhouse times or the youth or the kids, wherever the name of Jesus is named, we want to be having worship experiences because we're worshiping all the time the God of all gods.
Yeah, so I mean, worship is one of those that's somewhat tricky because you say the term worship, and man, people's heads go everywhere. There's so
Yeah.
much. You could point to all different kinds of worship. Here at LifeSource, we're really intentional about trying to drive into what our culture is and how that looks, and we're really excited to see the Lord's leading us in this. One of the things that's a little bit different about us, so you know, in the director position, we have went a direction at LifeSource where we don't have a worship leader or a worship pastor. We are taking the same model we're doing with the journey and everything else, and Matt's main job is to develop team members and develop team leaders that lead us, so we have a really good mix of maybe all the different kinds of worship, because there's not necessarily one that's right or wrong. They're
Yep.
really all incorporated into one big picture
Right.
of praise and worship and
Yeah.
required. So there's a little clarity in that position. Understand that that's his job, is to bring us there. Now, in that, there are a lot of different positions on that team. So why don't you tell the people kind of some areas that are available for them and what that would look like?
Yep. So obviously, we're talking about music for the most part, but as you've noticed in the sanctuary, we have developed what we call worshiper positions, where you'll see people that don't necessarily have a microphone that are on the sides of the stage, but they are excellent examples of freed up worship. In other words, they're able to sing and even move a little bit.
Yeah.
Be careful with that in worship in some churches, but they are representing people with a heart to worship God. Then, of course, you have all the different instruments, from drums to keyboards to bass guitars to rhythm guitars to lead guitars, and then vocalists. So we need to, I want to encourage more people to get involved with us. So we're looking to, we've got a process for onboarding, inbounding, whichever way you want to call it, but to bring people into the process of being able to be on stage.
All right. Well, today, when service is over, if you'll head out to the green room, you'll be able to get with Matt, and you'll find one of our biggest things about worship is there is a place for everyone because we're all created worshipers, and that's part of our goal. Is you may not be there yet, but our goal is to try to get everyone there. So if you're sitting in the audience today and you have any of the giftings or abilities in instruments or vocals, or if you just love to be expressive in worship, that's why we have these roles. We're like, when we sat down and started this process, going this new route, we were like, how do we make sure there's a spot for anyone who just wants to worship God? And that's what our heart is here at Worship at LifeSource. So after church today, please, please, please head out to the meeting place in the front lobby and see Matt. You won't regret it.